When you picture a Stone Age meal, you probably see a chunk of mammoth meat roasting over a fire. But that image misses something crucial: flavor. Our ancient ancestors weren't just eating to survive, they were making their food taste better. They were the world's first foodies, using the wild world as their pantry. Imagine a group around a fire, someone crushing pungent leaves and sprinkling them over meat. Suddenly the meal is transformed. A small act, but a giant leap in culinary. This is where cooking truly begins. Not just with fire, but with deliberate action and flavor. It shows a mind looking for ways to improve nutrition. Millions of wild sources, every plant from seed to bloom. Of course, this came with risk. Some plants were poisonous, others bitter. Generations of trial and error taught them what was safe and delicious. Finding a new flavor was like discovering a new world. It made food more appealing and opened up a new relationship with nature. Across the globe, early humans made similar discoveries, guided by their senses. Some plants smelled good, others dry. Some animals ate a berry, and humans took to it. Instinct and intelligence worked together. This spirit of exploration still drives us today. Our advice is to that curiosity to work around us. Just survival. We wanted taste. So what was in the prehistoric spice rack? It wasn't meat jars, but a collection of wild knowledge. Wild garlic, with its sharp kick, was a prized find. Mustard seeds brought spicy heat to roasted meat or mashed roots. These weren't subtle. They were bold statements of flavor. Aromatic herbs like wild thyme, rosemary, and minty greens were gathered and crushed, releasing fragrant oils. These herbs added taste and a new dimension of smell, making eating more complex and satisfying. Even dandelion, now a weed, was a valuable resource. Its bitter leaves provided nutrients and possibly medicinal benefits. Bitterness signaled powerful plant compounds, some with healing properties. Eating these greens was about more than calories. It was about health. And then there was salt. For early humans, salt was precious and rare. Coastal groups harvested it from seawater. Inland groups sought out salt licks and mineral deposits. Salt enhanced and balanced flavors and preserved food for longer. Finding salt was a massive advantage, a true treasure of the ancient world. These ingredients weren't just for taste, they were for survival. The Stone Age menu was wild, bold, and surprisingly sophisticated. Our ancestors' meals were the first step toward the flavors we love today. How do we know what our ancestors ate? They didn't leave recipes, but they left clues. Archaeologists analyzed fossilized dental plaque, a time capsule trapping tiny food particles. By studying this plaque, scientists identify specific plants and foods consumed. Stone tools like mortars and pestles hold microscopic residues, starch granules, pollen, and crushed seeds. Finding mustard seed residue on ancient tools is strong evidence of early spice use. Hearths preserve charred plant remains, sometimes edible seeds or fragments, not just fuel wood. Discoveries like roasted mustard seeds near cooking pits reveal deliberate flavoring. In Neanderthal sites, pollen and plant traces suggest culinary and medicinal plant use. Even bitter plants like yarrow and chamomile show up in dental plaque, hinting at sophisticated choices. Each discovery adds another ingredient to the ancient spice rack. Let's look at some Stone Age foods. Wild garlic, or ram, springtime game changer. Its sharp flavor comes with rich blandness. Mustard seeds, tiny but powerful, created spicy heat when crushed and mixed with water. Grinding this sugar to burn warm and dry. A deliberate step in a long flavor. These ingredients show culinary experimentation, not just taste. Imagine roasting traditional aromatic meats, mixing herbs, mustard seeds, and warm bread. of the Stone Age pantry. Today we favor sweet and salty, but our ancestors embraced bitterness. Wild plants like dandelion, chicory, and yarrow had a bitter edge, but early humans learned to use them. Bitterness often meant medicinal value, plants that aided digestion or fought illness. Through trial and error, they connected certain plants with feeling better. This was the world's first pharmacy, intertwined with the kitchen. Bitterness balanced other flavors, making meals more satisfying. Evidence from Neanderthal dental plaque shows they ate bitter plants like chamomile and yarrow. These plants had little nutritional value, suggesting they were chosen for health or flavor. Our ancestors deliberately ate bitterness, showing impressive knowledge of their environment. Not all food was for calories, some was for healing. The acceptance of bitterness shaped a more adventurous palate. Their tastes were shaped by necessity and curiosity. The Stone Age diet was as much about health as it was about hunger. Finding and preparing flavorful plants required deep knowledge of the land. The forager was the group's plant expert, passing down wisdom through generations. Children learned to identify edible and dangerous plants from elders. Cooking evolved into an art, choosing which flavors to pair with which foods. The fire pit became a laboratory, and the cook became the first chef. Many times, the line between food and medicine blurred. The person who grew healing plants often knew flavoring plants too, a shaman or medicine. Aromatic herbs and cooking might have been ritual means, purifying food or giving thanks. The ancient spice rack was tied to health, culture, and spirituality. Flavor was more than taste. It was tradition and survival. Many Stone Age flavorings had a second purpose: preservation. Without refrigeration, keeping food from spoiling was a constant challenge. Salt was king, drawing out moisture and stopping bacteria. Curing meat or fish created a stable food supply. Pungent herbs like garlic and mustard also slowed spoilage with their antimicrobial properties. Meat wrapped in certain leaves or rubbed with roots lasted longer. Our ancestors noticed these effects, even if they didn't know the science. Over time, practical preservation became cultural preference. The flavors we crave today may have ancient roots in food safety. Flavor and survival have always gone hand in hand. The choices our ancestors made around the campfire shape the way we eat today. Every time you season your food, you continue a tradition that's thousands of years old. The global spice trade began with a forager adding a flavorful meat to a meal. The foundation of modern cuisine was laid in the Stone Age. The drive to experiment with flavor is deeply human. Today we have a global pantry, but the impulse is the same: transform simple ingredients into something delicious. The ancient link between flavor and health is making a comeback. Scientists now study the health benefits of herbs and spices our ancestors used. The contents of your spice rack are as important as the main ingredients. The secret spice rack of the caveman was the world itself, a legacy that flavors our lives today.